going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your girl Candy. I'm here to bring you guys a new video. This video in particular is something different. If y'all haven't been following me on my second Twitter page, I recently tweeted out video plans and shit like that of videos I want to do, because I want to do something differently and just try to switch it up a bit on my YouTube channel, because I know people might get tired of me just doing showcases and shit, and I am trying my hardest to do different things with my YouTube channel, just to keep it fresh and just to try to bring it back to life a little bit. So I also want to throw in this really quick. I do have a special guest. Go ahead, introduce yourself, baby.
Hey, what is up, you guys? This is your boy Nestle Gamer. I'm brownsugarcandie's fiance, hubby. I do have a Twitter account as well, but you probably know me as the Haddonfield Ghost, the Black Azai 21. I had previous accounts and everything, but I'm now back as Michael Myers. But
you done went ham on them, a little too many people, but whatever, because they got a little out of place.
Yeah, that's another story.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna talk about that, okay?
But how y'all guys doing out there?
But yeah, I thought I would do something different, because at first I was just gonna keep it cute, and I was just gonna record myself talking about my CAWS and shit like that. But I was like, wait a minute, I think I should switch it up a bit and just kind of like add my fiance, because my fiance has some very like interesting views, thoughts, opinions, and all of that on my characters that goes like way deeper than what I've seen many people, like go with my characters, instead of just saying, you know, oh, he's evil and I hate him. He actually breaks it down, and it's like, wait a minute. But anyway, let me go ahead and jump into this video so I don't get off track. So if y'all read the title, then y'all already know what, you know, the things I'm about to start talking about of my CAWS. So without further ado, let us begin. The first character I am going to start out with, I'm fucking hot. I ain't gonna cut that shit out. Okay. The first character that I'm gonna start out with is Breezey, aka Ace Breezey, which by the way is his real name. So I'm gonna talk about his inspiration, character background, when I created him, how I named him, and etc, etc, etc. And then we're gonna try to carry that idea along with my other characters. Hopefully I don't get fucking lazy, or I don't fucking forget anything, and blah blah blah.
We're gonna do the best that we can.
Pretty much. Also, it's really late, so like, yeah. Anyway, so basically Breezey, inspiration for Breezey. Well, we're gonna say the inspiration. I'm gonna say the inspiration like for 2K22, but I'm also gonna talk about the inspiration behind what made me want to create Breezey. Okay, so for anybody that hasn't been following me for a long ass time, and I know some of y'all been following me for a long ass time, since like the Saints Row 2 days and shit, because a lot of y'all like to tell me that, and I'm just like over here scratching my head like, damn, bro, like I really had some people that really like just put up with my ass for that amount of years, a whole goddamn decade. Anyway, so I created Breezey back in 2010. Basically, like, it was just the name in general, Breezey, that just made me want to create a character that, okay, I hope this doesn't sound like wrong or anything like that, that wasn't black. But he admired like the hip-hop culture. Like, he just loved the music. He just loved everything about it. He loved the style, just everything about it. And pretty much it just, yeah, I mean, Breezey like technically didn't have like a big inspo. I just wanted to create a character that wasn't black, and the name Breezey popped up, and then I was like, the name is cute, and then boom, he got created in 2010, and like he's just been coming from game to game ever since. He's basically had the same theme also for basically forever. Breezy's probably like one of my only calls that has had the same theme since 2010, which is a long goddamn time. The only difference is though, is the theme is remix. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I think I pretty much answered everything other than the 2K22. But 2K22, the idea behind this actually for his attire and his look and whatnot, actually came from my fiance, and I was like, you got something going, babe. Hold on, let me see what I can do with this. And so I just, did me, and I freaked the hell out of that. His look, as you can see on the screen, my baby, my Breezy, and boom, that's how it came about. So I think I covered. Wait, one more thing. Goals and aspirations. See, I knew I was gonna fucking forget something, bro. See, I knew that. All right, so basically, I'm gonna say Breezy's goals, cause like I don't know, like me personally, I already know what I want his goals and aspirations to be, but let's just say like this is like coming from him, like what he wants to achieve and shit like that. So basically, y'all know, if any of y'all have watched Fight to the Top or kept up with it, or if you recently watched the fucking anniversary. And that shit was nuts. I'm gonna leave a link somewhere in the video or in the description or comment section or whatever, and y'all can go take a look if y'all want to.
Definitely do. It's worth your time and it's worth everything for you to see. I'm telling you, will not be disappointed. And definitely get you something to eat and to drink, because it's definitely a lengthy one and you won't be disappointed.
Hello. But so basically, like, Breezy is known as the peacemaker, or in the PMD's group, Problematic Divas, for anybody that don't know what the name of their group is. And he's basically like the peacemaker. Like, he's always constantly trying to keep everybody together, and he talk to people, try to encourage them to take a different route other than just violence, or verbal violence and physical violence. Because like I said, if you watched any of the Fight to the Top videos, then you would know that like it's been a whole ton of that shit. So yeah. Now I'm gonna let my fiance like give his thoughts or views or opinions about this character, because he really loves this character. That's why I really wanted to like include him in this video, because it'll be interesting to hear somebody other than me talk about why I like him, or just like seeing it in text form. But anyway, let me stop talking and let him get on this piece.
All right. Thank you for letting me have the floor. So about Breezy, pretty much what I picked apart from Breezy is, not only does he like to have peace around him and everything like that, he just wants everybody to get along, just have just positive energy, and he pretty much is the conflict resolver when he tries to be level-headed as much as possible. He's one of the few characters in PMDs that really don't lose his cool. So with Breezy, he's a very likable character, simply for the fact is that he don't lose his cool. And also, when you think of the name Breezy, when I also think of the name is, easy going with the flow. But also at the same time, he can be conflicted, because he can be too good for his own good, which is it can come and bite him in his butt, like in the previous episodes before the anniversary.
Spoiler alert. Go ahead.
Spoiler alert. In the previous Fight to the Tops, when with the whole Azriel situation and everything like that, when he was trying to help his friend out, it didn't go the way he wanted to, because he was so compelled on trying to help his friend out that he actually made situations worse. So sometimes the good that he does can come back and bite him depending on the situation. So sometimes he won't pick the battles that correctly for the situation, because think of Arnold for Hey Arnold. He's pretty much kind of like that in a way, but it's much more grounded in reality. So sometimes the good can be a double-edged sword depending on the opposing person, and he can get conflicted, and he can have some kind of some conflict within himself, and second guess himself as far as helping people. But he knows that in his conscience, that in his being, that he actually wants to help people. But you know, it gets the better of him when things don't go the way he expected it to. So yeah, one of the reasons also besides I like Breezey is because he's loyal, good heart. He fights for what he believes in, stands for what he believes in, and he just like to have good vibes and just have the good people around him. There's so much more I can elaborate on it, but I don't want to feel like I'm talking too long. But that's just my quick synopsis of Breezey.
Of the character.
Of the character Breezey.
Y'all see what I mean? That's why I wanted to include him in this video. Because like people like really don't I don't want to like tear anybody down or anything like that, but it's not too many people that actually take the time to look at my characters and like see past them just being mean or just being this and just being that, and just that's like what they automatically think is that's all they have to offer is just being a mean person or being stuck up or being like, you know, super nice or whatever, and it just never goes past that. So yeah, anyway, that is Breezey, and we are going to move on to the next character. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our next part. This time we are going to be talking about Azai Matsumoto. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, what was the inspiration behind Azai? Alright, so like I very, very, very vividly remember that. What inspired me to make Azai. So basically, I was like on Google one day and I was just like randomly just like I was Googling like looks and shit, like whatever. I don't know what character it was for, but I just know I was Googling shit back in 2010. And I happened across like this cute little schoolgirl look, and I really, really, really loved it. But, you know, I didn't have a character that I felt would be able to pull that look off. So that's basically how Azai came about, because Breezey actually came before Azai, but you know, it was just gonna be Breezey. It wasn't gonna be Breezey and Azai. It was just gonna be Breezey. But so basically, yeah, Azai came about because I seen that look and I really wanted to apply it to a character, but I didn't want it to be like any old character. I wanted it to be like a character in specific, and Azai was that in specific character. So I mean, yeah, she basically got her whole inspiration from just me Googling fucking images, and then boom, that was it. And the name Azai, first of all, let me say, the name Azai actually didn't used to be pronounced Azai. I was pronouncing it as Asia, but you know, like, you know, I used to talk a lot with my friend on fucking Google Chat. We used to just sit there and fucking talk and call each other and shit on Google Chat and just fucking talk for hours and shit. And I was telling him, like, we was talking about Breezey and Azai and shit like that, and then I just happened to say, this is how I say her name. And he was like, really? Oh, because this is how I say her name. And I was like, damn, bro, why did I even think about saying her name like that? Like, what made me just say Asia with the way I fucking spelled it? I don't know. Don't ask me why. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but whatever, you know. Case closed. It is what it is. But anyway, I pulled that name from Saints Row 2 because if y'all don't know, I got a character on Saints Row 2 who's also named Azai. So, yeah, so I pulled the name basically from Saints Row and gave it to this character because, like, I didn't have a name in mind, a particular name in mind for her, and I really didn't want to just keep Googling, like, names and shit for my characters and whatnot. I mean, I don't do that a lot, but it's only when, like, I want a good name for my character, and I'm like, oh, you know, I can't think of nothing right now, so let me just go try to Google some shit. So, yeah, that's how Azai became about. Azai, when did I create it? I created Azai in 2010, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know how I named her. Her, goals and aspiration, which I did not fucking talk about with Malia or fucking Addisyn. Fuck! I knew we missed something, bruh. See, I knew I was gonna do that.
We can add that at the end.
No, I can add it in this one.
Okay.
It's no problem. So before we actually finish Azai, let's rewind a little bit. So basically, Addison's goals or aspirations, if this bitch even got any, it's just basically the rule: fight to the top, to be the one that's on the top, and to be the best, and have every single character know who the fuck she is,
and not to feel like a loser anymore.
Yep, pretty much. Malia's aspiration or goal or whatever, she just want everyone to just get along and, you know, love more.
And to be loved.
To be loved. Yeah, exactly. Less hate. And, you know, she just want things to be better, you know, especially considering their history and their background and their life and stuff, which is the reason why I made that music video back on 2020. So y'all might want to go take a look at that. It's called the what is the name of it? What is it? Golden fucking something. I can't even think of the fucking name right now. That's so fucking trifling. But I made a music video in 2020 on 2K20. And basically, I'm like making like a small little origin story for Addisyn, and basically to give you guys a little delve into her history, and, you know, just to get to know her a little bit more about her, and, you know, how she became to be the Addisyn she is now. So yeah, but yeah, okay. Now that we got that out the way,
was the video called "Tainted Gold" or something?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, it was like at first it was "Tinted Gold," and then I was like, I wanted to sound better, so I was like, I started saying just like, again, you know, with my throwing letters and shit in whatever word it is or whatever, and I just started saying "tainted." I was like, I like that better, but it was already too fucking late because I had already fucking edited the fucking video, and I already had "Tinted Gold," so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna put it in the description or in the comment section and correct myself and just tell you guys like, hey guys, like, I end up changing the fucking name of the story to "Tainted Gold." So if you see "Tainted Gold" in the music video, then yeah,
that's what it's meant.
Yeah, because I wasn't gonna go back and fucking re-edit anything because whatever. But yeah.
So
anyway,
there you go.
That don't make no damn sense. My fiance remember this shit more than me. That's trifling. I don't know, bro. Like, maybe I need to calm down with editing or something. I don't know. Anyway, back to Azai. So yeah, I mean, basically, like I said, you know, I believe I was on attire. Okay, so basically her attire idea for 2K20 was, again, actually pretty easy, because when I do Breezey's attire, I kind of like to make Breezey and Azai match. So, you know, coming up with attires for her and coming up with an idea, for her attire is pretty fucking easy, because I was basing it off how I made Breezey's attire, but obviously I made it a little differently. The thing is with her attire, if you guys noticed, if you watch my newest video with Breezey and Azai, if you haven't, go check it out. But the thing I did differently is I really didn't feel like putting her in a, I'm burping. I really didn't feel like putting her in a bodysuit, to be quite honest. So I just kind of went back to my roots a little bit and just kind of made the attire like with using like the regular bras and, you know, shit like that in the game, which I actually had like a lot of fun doing it that way, to be quite honest. The only thing I fucking hate about this is the fact that, like, during the entrances and shit like that, it fucking glitched a little bit. I don't know if anybody noticed that shit. And I was looking at it, I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, even in the fucking victory motion, it was glitching, and I was like, this is some bullshit. And then when you go in the creation suite, it's perfectly fine. Like, I'm gonna need 2K to get this shit together, bro, because like, I cannot, bro. Like, when I finally get in the mood to like do something different with my CAWS attire, women attires, you know, it does shit like this. Like, this is so trifling, bro. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, her attire was pretty easy, Uncharted theme, because that's what Breezey's was, and that's how quickly it was to come up with a look for her in 2K22. So thank goodness it wasn't too difficult for me, and it was pretty simple and easy, and boom. So with that being said, let me go ahead and pass it on to my fiance, because like I said, he loves these two characters, and yeah.
All right, so let me get down to, first of all, her last name Matsumoto, which actually she borrowed from Breezey. Y'all, if y'all don't know that, that is Breezey's last name, so she rolled with that because that's her man.
Yep.
So that's fact number one right there. besides from Azai. Not only that, she supports her man, rides on him, also encourages him even when he beats himself up. Simply like if we go back to the incident with the Azel situation and Maven and all of that, she was right there to support him and everything like that, and to reassure him to keep being who he is. So she's good for him as far as her personality, because she's a ride or die. She's a balance for him whenever he beats himself up or when he's too good for his own self. So she comes in there and balances him out to recalibrate him and recharge him and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much what Azai pretty much is. But she's sweet, caring. She does love her team. She's always there to support in any kind of way, whether is moral support or whether she got in the ring and do her thing, get busy. So she's always there to support not just a man but a team. She's ride or die, no matter how you slice it, for a man and for a team. But she will always be loyal to her team, her man. Make sure that everything is going smoothly, because it's a lot of chaos. So
yeah, it's a whole lot of fucking chaos, man. Like, wow, so much chaos. It's almost hard to keep up with.
Yeah, so she also is his softness when it does get tough for him.
Also, I want to throw in, I'm very proud of, like, even though I got some hit or misses with my some of my characters' faces and I have to go back and re-edit them shits, and the reason why I hate doing that is because you never know how 2K22 is going to fucking react. You don't know if you're going to get lucky and the game is going to work for you, or it's going to fucking crash back to back to back. Because I had that issue when I was creating Malia, and I had to end up recreating her, which was kind of a blessing in disguise because she came out looking way better than when I first made her in 2K22. So hopefully sometime this week I'll post the prototype Malia models and shit. But yeah, I mean, what else? There's something I wanted to say. It was about 2K22, man. Let me think for a second. Shit, bro. Like, I hate when I get in the moment when I start talking, and then I just, like, completely lose, like...
the train of thought right there in that
my train
moment.
of thought so fucking quickly, man. I hate that so much. Goals, aspirations, and shit like that. I guess that's what I was kind of moving on to, but I know I'm gonna fucking remember that shit when I move on to the next character, and I'm gonna hate that shit, bro. I hate it. Alright, so basically we're gonna move on to the goals and our aspirations, because
we did miss that part.
Yeah, I mean, not miss it for Azai, but I just kind of lost my thought on what the fuck I was talking about with her. And, oh, damn, see, I knew that shit was gonna happen. Basically I was saying, like, with my face textures and shit, it's been very hit or miss, and I've had to come back and basically re-edit some of my CAWS faces, because you know, sometimes the game make it look good, and sometimes it's like, ew. And the game will literally tell you if your fucking face texture is ugly as fuck. And trust and believe, we have seen some CAWS and people on the timeline who have tried to bring their 2K19 shit over to 2K22, and it was very hit or miss. But that's why I always say, I was very glad that I stayed the fuck on 2K20, because 2K20, even though it was a broken piece of shit, it definitely helped me improve upon making my shit, and you know, with texture and you know, the skin and shit like that, because sometimes I do not like to make my characters too perfect with their faces and shit like that. I like to give them scars and moles and dents and shit like that, because I feel like it gives them more personality when, you know, when they have that type of stuff on their faces or bodies or whatever, because I don't technically like to make them too perfect. But Azai, I just like literally legit can't talk about just like how fucking beautiful she came out this game, because I don't know if y'all know or if I even said any of this, that I basically was just struggling with Azai since 2K18, I believe. And the reason why I struggled, despite the fact that I did show her in 2K18, is because, you know, the more I started to make her, you know, the less Asian she started to look. And she started to look too Caucasian for me. And I was like, what the fuck, bruh? And I was like, no, bro, I gotta fucking reset. I gotta do something because this is not the motherfucking tea. So that's the reason why you guys didn't see her in 2K19 because, like, you know, first of all, 2K19 got kind of boring for me. So, I mean, it worked. The game worked, but it was just boring. And, you know, the quality of the calls and shit for me personally on my end with the way I make my shit was just not up to par. So that's why I decided to stay my black ass on 2K20 because it basically made all my shit look good. And I was like, damn, bro, I hate that it's the broken game that my fucking shit look good on.
Facts.
But yeah, I just think her face is very beautiful. I love it, and I love the way I did her makeup. I'm kind of like sticking to simple, simplistic makeup looks this year for some of my characters. You'll obviously see some extravagant shit and just like some outrageous shit because I will be doing that too. And you'll also be seeing like makeup looks that my friend did for me for some of my calls like years ago that I never got the chance to use and I'm using now. So, you know, he'll definitely be getting a whole bunch of shout outs for that because, you know, I like to acknowledge anybody that like helped me in any way, shape, or form with anything. So anyway, with that being said, let me go ahead and cut Azai's part off so we can move on to the next character. Okay, we are back and we are going to be talking about our next character. Everyone's favorite and biggest bitch, like that I like to say, of my roster is Addisyn Skinner. Phew.
What could we say?
Like I said, everybody or anybody that's been keeping up with Fight to the Top and like the storyline and shit like that. Is that my soda?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know why the fuck I put it over there. Anyway, anybody that's been keeping up with Fight to the Top and all the episodes and just my characters in general, then you would know that Addisyn is like she's a very interesting character. Very interesting. Like so much to say about this bitch. It's not even funny. So right now, Addisyn is calling herself the Widow Queen, which has become very fitting. But anyway, let me talk about the inspiration and shit like that of how I came about creating Addisyn Skinner. Whew. Okay, so basically, like when I created Eva and Callie and like all the other characters in 2010 and stuff like that, I started to get these ideas for a story, and I was like, okay, you know, if I'm gonna go through with this story, then you know I need more characters. I need more characters, and obviously I needed a title, but I didn't have a title at the time. And everybody that knows me knows like I'm terrible at titles, so I really don't think of titles of anything first before I actually start writing a story or whatever, because I had no fucking idea. But I just knew I wanted to do a story, and I knew I wanted to try my hand at basically just doing something different, because you know back in like 2011 everybody was kind of doing the same thing with the, you know, the WWE games in terms of how they did their shows and shit. Like me and everybody that knows me knows that well, maybe you don't know but I in particular don't like to have Fight to the Top referred to as a show, like a regular wrestling show, but more so like how can I say it, like it's not a show like a regular wrestling show. It's like one of the movies or something like you see on TV, and it's like based on wrestling, and it's like people blah 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 whatever. I don't know how to fucking describe it, but it's something like that. But anyway, so basically that's how Addisyn got her start, because you know I just started creating her, and I knew that when I created her I didn't want her to be like super attractive. So let me just go off track a little bit. That's why when I made that video on 2K14 where I took off all my CAWS makeup, their piercings and all that type of shit, everybody was kind of horrified when they seen Addisyn. And I was like over here just like giggling a bit because I expected those kind of reactions, because like I said, she wasn't meant to be like super duper pretty. I mean, obviously that's changed a bit, you know, in the 2K games, the WWE 2K games. Well, a bit. a lot because now people actually find her pretty damn attractive. So I kind of just like lost my track. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, basically, I needed a villain. I needed villains. I needed just more characters to add to the roster to make the story, you know, be something
compelling.
Yeah. Yeah, so I made Addisyn, and that was all she wrote. Coming up with the name for her group, the Dime Piece Divas, was, for some odd reason, that was like probably the easiest goddamn thing that I ever came to my mind in terms of like putting names to anything. Because like I said before, I am very terrible at naming anything when it comes to names, whether it be a title or episode name, whatever the fuck. I'm terrible at it. And even my best friend likes to make it known, excuse me, that I'm very terrible at naming shit. And I'd be like, shut the hell up. And he know it. But he ain't got no cut card, so yeah. Let me see when I created them. Okay, yeah, I created Addisyn in 2011, blah blah blah, okay. The name Addisyn, this is like, her name is probably like the one name that didn't really just come to mind for me. Like, I legit said, you know what, let me just go ahead and Google something. So basically I was looking at baby names and shit, and I just typed in like, I was just like typing in shit like A-D, A-N, A-T, A-O and shit like that. And then when I typed in A-D, I got Addisyn. But I wanted to spruce it up a bit, so I changed it from being A-D-D-I-S-O-N to being A-D-D-I-S-Y-N to give it a little spruce. So, yeah, that's basically how she got her name, Addisyn. And then I basically pulled the name Skinner. I believe it was from the game, if I'm not mistaken. Because I don't quite remember how I got the last name, but I don't remember if it was from the game, because, you know, all the WWE 2K games have the name Skinner in it. But I don't remember if I pulled it from the game or if I just randomly made it up. But I just know that I just said Addisyn and then I said Skinner, and then boom, Addisyn Skinner was there to exist. And I knew off the bat she was going to be my villain. She was going to be cocky. She was going to be an asshole. She was just going to be generally fucking evil and my most hated character in Fight to the Top. And the bitch don't know how to take a loss, because she'll be quick to call her teammates and shit losers and shit before she ever calls herself a fucking loser.
She hates to admit defeat.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, let's talk about the 2K portion. So y'all know, and I tweeted about it several goddamn times, that I was not going to get WWE 2K22, but
thanks to me,
my fiance got the game for me, and I was like, fuck it, you know, I'm not gonna waste this money. So boom, I was creating CAWS, and technically I really and truthfully didn't have any ideas jotted down for Addisyn of what kind of look I wanted to give her. So it was just like basically just freestyle that shit, because everybody that knows me, once again, knows that before any of these games drop, I always like to have all of my attire concepts like down before, you know, even getting any type of new WWE game, because I don't want to be trying to rush. I don't want to be trying to create things at the last fucking second. I don't want to do none of that. So yeah, so her attire was just pretty random, and you know, I have my best friend to thank for her theme, again, the Widow Queen, because he's
props
like,
to you.
Yeah. He's super duper fucking creative, like very creative, and he's helped me with my cause basically throughout the fucking years. He'll just randomly make me shit and be like, maybe you can use it for this character or that character, and I'll be like, damn, and I ain't even have to ask. That's just how fucking badass he is. Anyway, let me stop talking, because I done talked for 8 goddamn minutes, and yeah, it's goddamn long. So I'm gonna give my fiance a chance to talk.
All right, so let me go ahead and give you guys an insight on Addisyn, on why she's villainous and the way she is. She has some insecurities that she haven't addressed herself, but she does project it a lot. So if you guys haven't been paying attention to that, go back and rewatch everything for her actions, as far as anybody that has a romantic life or have any kind of life outside of anything that does with the DPDs, anything like that, she tries to intervene because she don't want them to have more fun than her. So that's one thing about the insecurity. The other thing is something more than likely traumatized happened into her past. If you carefully look at her read a dialogue, you see things like she say, oh, this person's going to rape you, or this person's not good for you, this, that, and the third. So some of those are past tendencies that she's projecting to her teammates and other people that's associated with her group in any kind of shape or form. So that's the reason why she's always so angry at her anybody that comes away that don't suck up to her. Very malicious to her sister.
Yep.
Not only that, her love life basically sucks because the one person that I don't want to spoil it, but she does have a love life that did happen, and she wanted to have that back, but she's now bitter about it. If you pay attention to some of the dialogue, I'm not going to tell you exactly who, but when you see them communicate, you can see it right then and there that there was something of the past that happened, but she knows that it's not going to happen again. So that's one of the things that she had. So with the whole loser thing and everything like that, she calls the team and everything like also stems from her past. So she feel like a loser. She feels like that she's not good enough. So I'm not going to say that she's a tragic character. In a way you can give a take on how you want to look at it. If you take away all the bias, she does have some kind of tragedy, but now it made it to a villainous nature. So can you excuse it or can you not?
Exactly. It just makes you feel like you don't know how to exactly feel about it. Like, do you feel bad for her, or like do you just like, I just can't stand this bitch, bro, she's just so evil? It's like, how exactly are you supposed to feel about her character? Like, that's why I love making these stories, man, because I love to get people thinking and just like break it down, thinking, all that shit, bro. But anyway, that is Addisyn Skinner, and we are going to move on to the next character.
You did?